Well, another thing I can talk about is the
Mm.
fact that I also work in the oil and gas industry. And
Okay.
an example is an FPSO. So an FPSO
What?
is a
Okay.
floating production storage of
Mm.
unit, those ships that transport
Yes.
oil. Yes. And women don't have toilets on those ships.
Okay.
So what
I
kind of
see.
culture?
I can tell you why.
It's not about the why. It's about, do you want us to be a part of this thing or
No,
not? Why is it not
hold
a
on.
default that
This
we
one,
have
I
toilets
would
that
see.
women can
I will
use?
tell you why. See,
Yes, tell me.
unfortunately, traditionally, women haven't been part of this space, and it's financially and design waste of resources, yes, to produce something that nobody will use. Okay, now if more and more women get interested in it, yes, then in the future badges or whatever that are produced now will include women's toilets. But
When when when
right
when
now,
do, when do you think the future will begin? If in 2025 the future has not started to open
well,
up for women to get into the space.
see again, see, I talk about. In fact, I'm writing a book about inclusion. Okay, I really, really, really like. I have three daughters, so I want them to be included. But one thing about inclusion for me, the people where all of us are saying should be included, they must be interested in being included. Okay, because I see a lot of talk of including someone or some people or some groups that are not doing anything to be included. See, it's a waste of time, resources, fighting to include those people. Okay. And I don't want African countries to waste a lot of energy and time trying to include one group or the other in a space where they don't want to be included.
Okay. So I can come back on that
Okay,
now,
yeah.
right? All right. I'm going to give you a very recent example because
Yeah.
I disagree with what you've
Oh,
just said.
very good. See,
Um,
let me say one thing. See,
yes.
I want us to disagree on these topics because disagreement and debate on these topics makes our knowledge better, right? One thing I've noticed about Africans is that we don't like to talk to somebody who disagrees with us. And it's a bad thing for us. And I'm trying to change it. So I'm happy that you disagree. Okay.
Awesome. Okay.
So if I'm making a mistake, I would like you to correct me.
Well, I can't really say you're making a mistake because these conversations are always nuanced.
Okay.
Like it's not black and white. So that exists. That thing exists. But
Mm.
two things I want to address: the fact that you feel it's a waste when they are not interested, right?
Yes.
And then secondly, what's the second point?
Uh,
You
I
said a
can't
lot,
remember.
but it's fine. I think Africa is growing.
Mm.
Earlier, if you look at the history of how London became the financial headquarters of the world,
Yes.
it was in the Netherlands where production happened. In London, they get the raw resources and then they export by ships to the Netherlands.
Yes.
Before 200 years later, Londoners were like, can't we do this thing ourselves? And then they started production here. That's one. How did English women get into the workforce, right? They got into the workforce during World War II when conditions,
No. They got into the workforce a long time before that.
no,
Okay. But then they got into uh, organized workforce, okay, like men during World War II.
okay, awesome.
Okay.
So they got much more into
Yes.
the workforce after World
Because they have
World War.
always been in the factories. Even young girls and boys were in the factories in the 18th centuries. Okay, yeah.
They got into the workforce
Yeah.
after World or during World War.
During World War II, yes.
The same thing happened in Germany, where Germany right now is a maternal society. The women lead a lot more than men, right? So these things evolve. And yes, maybe at some point when Africa began industrialization, there was no need for women to be in this space. Not today.
Okay.
Not today. And today, when we talk about today, we're talking about 2025. We're not talking about 1995 or 1997. This is not even 2000. Year 2000 was 25 years ago. Right? So there is an opportunity for women to get into that. Now, these systems have been there before the women decided to be a part of these systems. And if one man decides, or one man who is the CEO decides that no woman should bother getting onto an FPSO because traditionally I don't believe you guys do it. Also, looking at my family background, all the women are not interested. So what's the point, right? Now, that singular decision of an organization that employs about 5,000 people has cut off women from doing things, as you said. Now, come back to the UK. Do you know that billions of pounds is being lost every year because we are not able to, in the UK, integrate women into the tech space. So this thing is not just about whether they are interested. Forget about whether they are interested or not.
No, I
If
can't.
we add them, if we allow women, if we create the space, because we cannot sit down here and decide that it is not important when organizations,
hold on.
when
I'm not saying it's not
organizations all
important.
around the world.
I'm not saying it's not important.
Yes.
Okay.
But you said it's a waste.
Yes.
Yes.
If
So
they're
I'm
not
trying to
interested,
prove
it's a
that
waste.
point. Let me just land. When NGOs all around the world, even the SDGs, do you know that there are 2 SDGs just dedicated to including women? There's the inclusive, and then there's the gender equality SDG. So these organizations made up of researchers, policymakers, people who are in the space for over decades, deciding that women should be given the opportunity, putting money into the space. I don't think they think it's a waste. If at all, I am not as broadly researched as I
okay. I see. I don't expect you not to fight this fight, okay?
Yeah, that's why we're having this. It's interesting. I'm enjoying it.
Yes. Now, see, the most egalitarian society in the world are the Nordics, okay?
Yeah.
But the more they give women the opportunities to enter all those so-called male spaces, the more they revert back to the traditional spaces that women have held all through human history. See, take your time after this discussion and check it out. Okay. That's where they give women all the see. Just take your time after this. You're a researcher, so I want you to do it. See, all I'm doing is this, okay? I don't want us to spend time, money on something that will not yield any value. I will tell you one thing. Like I told you before, my space before my injury was finance. Okay, I worked in City Group in Nigeria. Okay, in City Group, there are so many women up there. Yeah, in fact, nearly by the time I left there, the assistant vice president and above, maybe there were more men, more women there. Yes. Okay. See, I had three direct boss, four direct bosses. Okay. When I was there for over 7 years, 2 of them were women, and I had fun working with them. So I want women to do whatever they want to do, okay? But it will be undermining our progress if we spend, time and money on something that will not yield any fruit. Now, see, I wish my daughters want to be engineers if they wanted, but they don't want to. See, you are unique amongst your peers. How many of your friends are in your space? How many? I don't know.
A lot.
Oh, very good. Very good.
Excuse me, I got on a scholarship for my bachelor's degree, and
Okay.
all the women in my batch, they are all into information technology. So a lot.
Good.
But get me right, I do understand your point of view. And I think this is something that we will have to agree to disagree.
Okay.
I think women deserve that chance to prove themselves. Not prove themselves, but they have that capacity.
See, everybody deserves the chance to do what
we shouldn't go in to this with a default mindset. I think we should be much more, if as men, as allies, you guys are allies. Feminism cannot happen without men at all.
Well, I used to be a feminist.
Are men.
I used to be a feminist, not anymore.
Well, it depends on your definition, because it's construed nowadays.
Okay, so equal opportunities
for all.
I'm all for it.
So okay. That is feminism for me. And that,
okay.
Yeah. So that's it. I think we shouldn't, as men who are the allies of women, I don't think it is best to go into it as we might be wasting our resources. So let's go back to my field of tech and start.
Yes. See, I like this kind of debate. Is, like I said before, it's good for us to talk about all those things. I want us to do more and more of this. Otherwise, we might be, if we think there's something we don't talk about, and then we continue putting effort, money into those things. If we don't talk about those things, where you are simply wasting money and pushing some people into a space where there's no value. Okay, I don't want that. I've seen that in this place, in the Western world, and I see they have the money to waste in those things. We don't have that kind of money and time. We are behind, so we need to catch up.
Yeah, but one more thing. I apart from the whatever kind of business we're in, I just don't believe that investing in a human being, just the fact that the person is a human being, can never be a waste. Whether it's financial, whether it's time, whether it's
economics. Okay, economics will tell you differently.
No, I don't think so. I don't agree. That one I don't agree. It's a human being. You can't. There's no value. Humans are.
Economics will tell you differently. See, there's this opportunity cost, right? When you invest in something that nobody wants, you are wasting money and you are denying other things to be invested in. So that's it. That's the truth of life. Let's see.